What Syracuse faculty is doing to focus on diversity inclusion on campus.
A new student group is forming for journalists at Newhouse.
And weather updates that will make you forget it's fall.
All that plus orange sports and more coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning, Orange Nation. I'm Whitney Williams. Thanks again for joining us for another edition of Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Sydney Supley. Here's a look at today's top story.
Our top story this hour, the DEIA Symposium was held yesterday at the Shine Student Center.
That's right, Whitney. Anissa Williams is live to tell us more.
Thanks, Sydney. I'm here outside the Shine Student Center, where the all-day event showcased the various projects that have been put into place to promote diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility on campus. The event featured workshops, presentations, posters, and creative works put together by staff members, students, and faculty who have actively worked towards creating a more inclusive campus environment.
We promote DEIA through inclusive communications, through telling the stories, both here within the community and to external audiences through media.
The Intercultural Collective, which houses several centers like the Office of Multicultural Affairs and the LGBTQ Resource Center, host events that allow students to have fun and meet others from different backgrounds and cultures.
I would like students to feel a sense of home, whether it's through the Intercultural Collective, on the athletic field, in their labs. If they can find a place that grounds them, then they can thrive not only on campus but beyond.
There are many more events to come. The DEIA Symposium was just one of many efforts by the Office of Diversity and Inclusion to continue to make our campus welcoming and inclusive to all. Reporting live, I'm Anissa Williams for Mornings on the Hill.
Thanks, Anissa. We are in for some surprisingly warm weather today and tomorrow. Let's head over to Emily Coffey to find out more. Emily?
For all you summer lovers, this October weather has been something that dreams are made of, and it will stay that way for the next couple days until later in this week when we'll see maybe some showers, a little colder weather, so you might need to bring up that umbrella. I'll have a more detailed weather report later in this episode, but until then, back to my ladies in the studio.
Thank you, Emily. SU recently released their latest academic strategic plan outlining their goals over the next 5 years. Our reporter Mike Ostrowski joins us live to discuss what the university has planned. Mike, tell us what to expect.
Thanks, Whitney. Syracuse University officials met this past week to discuss new policies they wish to implement by 2028. One that stands out is a plan to increase enrollment in the College of Engineering and Computer Science by at least 50%. The college is currently home to around 1,600 undergraduates. University leadership is already investing in updates to the college's home in Link Hall. With tech giant Micron set to open a new plant in nearby Clay, there should be a dramatic need for more ESC grads. The college will also add around 50 faculty to accommodate more students. And some other major changes in the academic strategic plan. The university plans to have all students study abroad starting in 2028, or at least have the opportunity to do so within their specific programs. The university is also looking to remain a top 20 college in the U.S. News and World national rankings, as well as a preeminent university for veterans and their families. All of these are ambitious goals, but they're appropriate for a school that still prides itself as a leader in innovation. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Mike Ostrowski.
Thanks, Mike. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was on the wrong side of history yesterday.
The yeas are 216. The nays are 210. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
McCarthy became the first U.S. Speaker to be ousted from Speaker of the House duties. The House of Representatives will elect a new Speaker as soon as next week. In the meantime, Representative Patrick McHenry of North Carolina will step up to the task of interim Speaker.
Police report that 5 persons have been injured outside a homecoming game at Morgan State University in Baltimore on Tuesday night. 4 of those 5 victims are students of the university. Baltimore Police Commissioner Richard Worley says no suspects have been found as yet and investigations are ongoing.
Donald Trump's $200 million civil fraud in New York. The Trumps and their company are accused of fraud, falsification of business records, issuing false financial statements, and conspiracy. Among other allegations, because this is a civil lawsuit, not a criminal case, there is no possibility of jail time. Trump has pleaded not guilty.
And a former Syracuse University basketball player is now using his talents for the greater good. Our Kalia Butler joins us live in the newsroom to tell us more.
Former Syracuse basketball player Bo Jacques, who had 2 years of eligibility left with the Orange, decided to take a step away from the sport and pursue his true passion of helping others, doing so here in the city of Syracuse. Just this past weekend, combining tragedy and charity by bringing the siblings of the 2 young boys, 17-year-old Dal Apet and 15-year-old Luth Mo, who were shot and killed by an Onondaga County deputy in a car they had stole earlier last month. Knowing what it's like to lose a loved one, Jacques says he wanted to give the family a glimpse of happiness. Jacques and the families involved in the tragedy are all refugees from South Sudan, making the case especially important for him. Jacques says he plans to continue his community outreach through his nonprofit, the Humble Fund, which he says he has created to bridge the gap between education and opportunity. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Kalia Butler.
Thanks, Kalia. Everyone with a working phone in the United States will get an alert today at 2:20 p.m. to test the emergency alert system. However, it has left many wondering what will happen and might put some in even more danger. Peyton Spellacy joins us live. Peyton, who exactly is at risk?
Whitney, people who may face domestic violence and also have hidden or secret phones could be in jeopardy today. These phones usually act as a lifeline, but I spoke to the director of advocacy at Vera House, who said that these devices could be compromised by this test alert coming out today, and it may lead to harmful situations.
In recent years, as technology use has increased, the ways that folks can cause harm to others and control them through technology has increased as well.
SOC says that 50 to 60% of their clients have these hidden phones, and all these phones will get tested and will include a loud noise and vibration. And the phone doesn't have to be a smartphone for the test to work.
This year's test message will be sent to all compatible cellular phones that are turned on and in range of cellular service.
SOC believes that many are unaware of the test. Vera House is reaching out to all clients to make sure they know it's happening.
So if you are worried or you're in close proximity to someone who might be able to find this device that would make it unsafe if they discovered it, make sure that it's powered off or in a location where that person can't hear this alert go off.
FEMA even agreed that all people that might be in this situation should power down their phone. If a hidden phone were to go off at 2:20 p.m. tomorrow, it could lead to possible violence.
Anytime that someone who is controlling their partner finds out that they are trying to subvert that in any way, it increases the risk of danger substantially.
Lieutenant Matthew Malinowski of the police department says instead of having to prepare for these issues, people with hidden phones should rethink their current relationships.
If you're in a type of relationship where you need a hidden phone, you probably have to think about a little bit more of getting some resources, because I don't know that that's, the best practices for a relationship.
Now, this is a sensitive topic, but if you need assistance at home, you can call the domestic hotline at 800-799-7233. Reporting live for Mornings on the Hill, I'm Peyton Spellacy. Back to you.
An important story, Payne. Thank you very much. A historic celebration happened yesterday on campus. The 75th anniversary of the desegregation of the U.S. Armed Forces was held yesterday at the National Veterans Resource Center. A guest speaker of the event was none other than Admiral Cedric Pringle. The anniversary symbolized unity and forward movement for our country.
And coming up on Mornings on the Hill, a one-on-one interview with our very own Patricia Duong as she discusses founding Syracuse University's first Asian American Journalists Association, and the full scoop on Central New York's warm fall weather this week. Stay tuned for more from Mornings on the Hill. So today we have a special guest with us, our Patricia Duong. She's the founder of the first Asian American Journalists Association here at Syracuse University.
That's right, Whitney. And we're excited to learn more about AAJA, its mission, and why Patricia decided to bring this incredible organization to campus.
So Patricia, can you tell us exactly what AAJA is and what is the mission?
Of course. The Asian American Journalists Association is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting diversity in newsrooms and ensuring the fair and accurate coverage of the Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. They also have 1,500 members nationwide and in Asia, and they also welcome anyone who supports the mission to come and support regardless of race, religion, or background.
That's amazing, Patricia. Can you tell us a little bit about why you felt AAJA deserved a spot here at Syracuse?
Of course, AAJA is an amazing organization, and I believe that there is a need for Asian American Pacific Islander students to have a platform to amplify their voices and address the underrepresentation of our community in the media landscape. I also think it's very important for AAPI students to have a sense of community and support on campus, and having a network like AAJA provides the necessary resources such as guidance and mentorship, which is invaluable for young Asian American Pacific Islander students.
Thank you, Patricia, for your insights into AAJA, and we hope this inspires more people to support the movement.
Yes, and on that note, how can people join the AAJA and how can they reach you?
They can reach me via social media DM or send me an email, and everybody is more than welcome at our first inaugural meeting tomorrow afternoon at 4:30.
Okay, thanks so much, Patricia, for joining us. It's time now to check for your weather today. Emily Coffey is right here in studio with a look at your full weather forecast.
And it feels like a warm summer day today. It's currently 71 degrees and will reach up to 87 today. Fall who, am I right? The humidity is sitting at high today as well at around 87%. And now on to our tomorrow's forecast. As we look towards tomorrow, it's a little more overcast than the past few days. It's still fairly warm for an October day with temperatures starting in the low 40s and getting up to the 80s. A little over 80 degrees by the afternoon. And for our 5-day forecast, looking towards the rest of the week, we see that it's finally starting to look a little more like fall as temperatures start to cool off. We see here that by Sunday, it will reach a high of 52. And make sure to have those umbrellas on standby, as there is a chance of showers on Friday through the weekend. So those of you who are ready for fall, well, you're getting just what you asked for. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Emily. According to state police, the missing 9-year-old girl from Saratoga County has been found in good health. The 46-year-old suspect, Craig Nelson Ross, abducted Charlotte Sena on Saturday night while she was riding her bicycle in a state park in Saratoga County. Law enforcement found that Charlotte was inside a cabinet in Ross's home and subsequently arrested him. According to an arraignment document, Ross is now in custody awaiting a preliminary hearing. Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, we recap the latest action from SU football and men's soccer. Sports is next.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Griffin Della Penna with your Orange Sports Update here on Mornings on the Hill. SU football is coming off their first loss of the season Saturday against the Clemson Tigers, 31-14 inside the JMA Wireless Dome. The reigning ACC champs got out to a 14-0 lead and never looked back, racking up 28 points off Syracuse turnovers. For Garrett Schrader and the offense, it didn't seem like things were clicking in their first conference game of the season, and things don't get any easier for the Orange. Syracuse enters a 3-game road trip, including back-to-back matchups against 2 ranked programs. First up, the North Carolina Tar Heels. UNC comes in as the number 14 team in the country with a perfect 4-0 record. Drake May, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the entire country and a projected top 5 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Caleb Okechukwu, one of the leaders on the Syracuse defense and in the locker room, gave me insight following yesterday's practice about the team's mindset heading into this very difficult stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to just don't look too far down the schedule. You know, one game at a time, one day at a time. I've been here for a little while, so I think I've learned that over time is just don't look so far down. You know, don't get too high, don't get too low. Just stay right in the middle and you'll be all right.
Our Jaleese Leanne is live this morning recapping some of the committed students who actually camped out for tickets at the Dome. Jaleese, what more can you tell us?
That's right, Griffin. A special guest made an appearance, and it was nice to see students come together and show their support, even overnight. Let's take a look at the Dome being converted into a campsite.
Otto's Army made history this past weekend as students participated in the first ever football campout. Syracuse was home this weekend playing their first ACC game versus Clemson. The campout was projected to bring out over 50 supportive fans. Mac Johnson says he enjoys his time camping out at the Dome.
Yeah, I've been here for like 3 or 4 hours already, but it's great just meeting new people and just talking to everyone that wants to go to the game tomorrow.
Coach Dino arrived with food and 4 football captains to share his appreciation of constant support for him and the team. Students dug in some nice hot cheese pizza filled with love from the 4-0 team. As the sun started to set and the night began to get cooler, more tents were being built, posters being made, and thirst being quenched. Nicole Holmes says history has been made.
Really excited for this football camp out because this is the first one that we've ever done. The weather's nice, everyone's in a really good mood. The Duke one gets a little crazy and hectic, but I think we've got the perfect amount of tents. It's gonna be a great day.
Otto's Army came out strong for the Syracuse versus Clemson game and came out strong to the Loud House. It was a 31-14 turnout, but Qs will rise and be back versus North Carolina at 3:30 p.m. on ESPN. Make sure to tune in as Orange hits the road this weekend.
I'm Jaleese Leanne with Mornings on the Hill. Griffin, back to you.
Thank you, Jaleese. The men's soccer team suffered their second loss just in this week alone. And it makes you wonder, can they repeat as national champions? Our Bailey Tucker explains what happened on Friday against Duke.
Thanks, Griffin. The Syracuse men's soccer team lost a close battle to the Duke Blue Devils Friday night. Unfortunately, that knocked them down pretty far in the rankings. But let's take a closer look as to what happened.
In swinging ball, back post, headed down and in! In swinging ball, back post, headed down and in! What a start for the visiting team! Oh, Smith kissed right. Oh, Smith kissed right, but just slipped under him.
I just want them to be more aggressive and chase the game.
Scores on an open goal to give Duke the lead. The Orange playing from behind score on another corner kick, and Gabriel McKenna visibly frustrating the Duke defense because he made it look so easy. The Orange still trails 2-3. Cariano slams the door shut and strikes back with the seemingly easy penalty kick. Duke up 2. Final minutes of the game, Nate Edwards scores, hurries back, but it's not enough time. The Orange ultimately fall 3-5. The Orange fell 11 spots in the rankings, putting them at 18. They managed to beat Colgate last night, but another big test awaits. This Friday, the Orange will take on the 13th ranked Tar Heels of North Carolina. Will they manage to pull this one off? Are they good with just being good, or are they ready to be great? I'll let you think about it. That's all for your Orange Sports Update. Back to Whitney and Sydney at the desk.
Thanks, Bailey. Still to come here on Mornings on the Hill, after 27 years, an arrest has finally been made for the murder of hip-hop legend Tupac Shakur. And after a 7-year hiatus, a former Syracuse theater major returns to take on broadcast journalism. Stay with us. These stories and more just ahead.
Welcome back to Mornings on the Hill. I'm Jonah Weintraub alongside Madison Palumbo with your entertainment news. Our top story takes us to Las Vegas, where police arrested a man for the 1996 murder of rap legend Tupac Shakur.
Last Friday, authorities apprehended 60-year-old Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who is the last living suspect from the original investigation. LVMPD Homicide Lieutenant Jason Johansson detailed Davis's involvement.
Dwayne Davis was the shot caller for this group of individuals that committed this crime, and he orchestrated the plan that was carried out to commit this crime.
Despite the time it took to arrest Davis, his role in the murder was no secret. Since 1998, he's admitted to being in the car that shot at Shakur. He also spoke candidly about providing the gun used in the murder. Critics like Shakur's stepbrother are frustrated with the investigation's timeline.
This guy who they just indicted has been with him, has been telling the same story the whole time for 27 years. Why are you just finally now considering that, you know, he was so close to the #1 suspect?
Davis is currently being held without bail and set to hear his fate in the coming days. Elsewhere in Sin City, the Las Vegas Sphere hosted its first concert this past weekend. Following years of buzz surrounding the mysterious $2.3 billion structure, Irish band U2 made waves with their performance at the venue last Friday. The Sphere's wraparound canvas screen has over 260 million pixels to provide a state-of-the-art immersive experience. After just one show, some have already said that it will forever change live performances.
Busy week in the desert, huh? Anyway, let's bring it back to Central New York. How about it, Madison?
A Syracuse student who once dreamed of being the star of the show is now embarking on a newsy journey.
Out of her victim? Think again.
I already told you he wasn't my victim. It wasn't even my car.
So whose was it?
I don't know.
Kristen Lilly once dreamed of being an actor. At the University of Hartford, she majored in theater, continuing a passion she's had since she was 7. But a full-time acting career never progressed. During her time off, she had time to reconsider her career path.
I regret not going back to school sooner. I did have the huge gap of 7 years between undergrad and graduate school. And I guess it was because I was unsure.
Lilly is now a broadcast and digital journalism major at Syracuse University's Newhouse School of Public Communications. At Newhouse, she can be found checking out camera equipment, shooting, and editing. Lilly says broadcast is much different than theater.
The majors are very different. Going to school for theater, everything is very scripted. And with broadcasting, you have to write your own material.
Although the majors are different, Lilly says she is enjoying her experience.
Finding your own stories, being an actual journalist is something that's completely out of my comfort zone, but I love it. It's different.
Lilly is looking forward to the remainder of her experience at Newhouse.
Good afternoon. Welcome to NCC News. I'm Kristen Lilly.
Madison Palumbo, NCC News. That's all the entertainment for today. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Madison. And that's it for us this Wednesday here on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Sydney Supley, and make sure to follow all of us on social media.
And I'm Whitney Williams. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next Wednesday live at 10 a.m. right here on OTN.